Here's a cool car for you. 2020 Nissan 370Z. Omar here for vehicle height restrictions. So let's quick look at this 2020 370Z. Now, this is a proper sports car. Got nice little headlights up in the front, which to me, reminds me like a Ferrari. I do love the headlight designs of it. It's actually very beautiful. The front is not too showing off. It's just actually very simple. Decent size for the radiator grille, very flat hood, nice wheels. Let's walk around the back. You still get that nice proportion of the 350Z. Only thing I wish was it had a rear wiper in the back, just like the 350, but it is what it is. Overall, very nice styling. I actually like the rear better than I do the front. The rear has very, very aggressive. I love the dual exhaust back here, and that's actually real. No fake little exhaust. Nice little brake light down there as well. Love it. I love the rear end of this car. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in. But before I do, let me show you the key. Here is the key right here. Let's see if we zoom in just a little bit. It's not really focusing that well, but obviously you can see the Z at the top. Below it, you have the lock button, unlock button, and the horn, or should I say the alarm. I'm actually going to unlock the doors. And let's walk up to it real quick. I know you guys are just dying to see how I fit in here, so let's just go ahead and do it. But first, let me just say this. I'm wearing shorts and sandals, so it's going to be easier for me to get in the vehicle. Only tall people understand that if I'm wearing like shoes and just like jeans, it'll be very tight squeeze in here. It is 100 degrees. Being 6'9", now I am cheating. Yes, I am cheating. I took off the sandals real quick because I do want to be comfortable in here. If I was wearing, again, like I said, jeans, some boots, whatever, whatnot, if it was the winter time, I would have no room. But right now, this is actually not bad for my left leg. Now, my right leg, if I want to keep my sandals on, but I'm going to take it off just for demonstration purposes. It's average. For this size of vehicle, I really cannot complain. Honestly, it feels the exact same, which is actually pretty bad for the Nissan Armada. But this is actually reminding me of the Nissan Armada. This should show you how crap the Nissan Armada is. But let me please start up the vehicle. I gotta start it up, man. It's 100 degrees out here, so foot's on the brake. As you saw, it went from lock, auxiliary to on. That weird little system. And there you have it. Nice. Very nice. But looking onto the interior, it's a 2020. I know it's a sports car, but let's just go ahead and get on with it real quick. Now, starting on the driver's door, you do have windows going automatically down and up, which is a good thing to have. Unlock lock switch right here. Window locks over here, which I don't think is necessary. You got the air vents right here, which is actually on the door, so you got a little opening right over there. I do like the lock switch right here, so when you lock the doors, I just like the design of this. When you tilt the steering wheel, the gauge cluster follows it as well, which is a nice touch. Sadly, you only go up and down. You can't tilt it forward and backwards. I do love the fact that the power shifters are mounted to the steering column. But yet again, Nissan actually does this for the Nissan Altima as well. So, but without, I digress on that. Let's just go ahead and focus on the Z. I like this on here, except for like Camaros, Mustangs, and Challengers. They're mounted behind the steering wheel. That's a nice touch right there. Let's look at the gauge cluster real quick. I got my parking brake on, so that's the reason why the parking brake light is on. I like the funky gauge cluster right here. I love the fact that the RPM gauge is right in the middle. It's actually very big, up in your face as well. This is the automatic, so you see the little P right over there. And have your speedometer down over there, nice and small. I love the fact that it's just a large RPM gauge right there. I love the fact that it's orange as well. It's so retro of Nissan. This is the oil temperature. Right now it's around, I think 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Volt temperature for your battery. And that clock is out of sync because right now it's actually 5:30. This screams 2008. And I really do mean 2008. But obviously still got your CD player down over here. Nice, easy to use and read. Climate control, simple, easy as well. No complaints there. Definitely complaints over here. You do have heated seats in this trim level that I have. You got your little switch there to open up the hatch. Automatic gearbox. which is decent. I go more to it later in the video. And you can adjust your seats in this trim level. So you actually push it forward and backwards electronically, and you can bring it up and forward as well. So if I actually sit up all the way straight, I do have fair. It's a small sports car, a two-door sports car, not made for someone who is 6'9". So I'm not gonna complain too much. But I've been driving this car all day. But I can't complain on comfort as well. So that's pretty cool. Pop the hood open. I'm not for sure what this part is here for. I think it's for a key, but it doesn't look like a Nissan type of a key. The engine is gonna be running, so I have to talk louder, but I want the AC nice and cold. What we have is Nissan's 3.7 liter V6. For the Nissan 350, it'll be a 3.5 V6. Obviously, 370, 3.7 liter V6. 332 brake horsepower, 270 foot-pounds of torque. That's Nissan's bread and butter. Very nice motor. Very big motor for this size of a vehicle, I must say. 6-speed automatic gearbox, absolutely great. Put it close right now. It's a very beautiful motor as well. Very nice and clean. Very nice. I'm about to cut my father's grass, so I do have a little bag right here. You know, just give you a visual idea how small the trunk is. Just some shoes and a clothing, you know, just to change out of. Put that on the side. Back here, I mean, it's a sports car. Not looking for too much practical, but you do have a nice little divider right here to hide your belongings. You can raise this up. It's just not really easy to do so. They didn't give you like a little lever or something to pull this stuff up on. But if I pull this up on this side, okay, guess you gotta do one thing at a time. It will reveal, and you gotta pull this part. There we go. You do have a little jack down there to, you know, remove the tire. There's no spare tire. I wasn't expecting that. We do have a nice little subwoofer down over here. It says Bose. And the sound system in this is fantastic. So, putting that back in here. Let's get out this heat. It's just 5 o'clock and I'm burning up still. That's just a quick little tour of the 370Z. I get more to the drive dynamics later on in the video. You know, I like to do it late at night. Let things cool down and I get back to you in a second. Alrighty, pulling into my little venue. This is not a Hyundai, but y'all know how it goes. I am exhausted. Cut the grass around 6 p.m. Won't do that mistake again. It got dark just like this, but yet again, it did not spoil my fun with the 2020 Nissan 370Z. My goodness, this thing was an absolute joy to drive. This was very fun and easy to handle. I mean, I read some couple reviews about that, talk about the steering. I love the steering. I actually get more to that in the drive dynamics in a second. But man, just do a final walk around this car, man. This Hyundai Genesis, Camaro RS with the V6. The Challenger, the V6, you know, no offense to it, I love it. It's a great cruiser, muscle car. The V6 variation, no, it can't handle up with stuff like this. And the Mustang EcoBoost, nah, I don't want a 4-cylinder in a nice little sports car. This thing looks actually fantastic in black as well. I would love to see the Nismo version of this thing. That would be very nice. It has more power as well, more torque. And let's go ahead and get to it. I really want to praise this car because two-door sports cars like this, when you roll down the windows and you drive around like low speeds, you don't hear that much wind buffeting at all. I just had a friend drive this car and she had her hair untied, but her hair wasn't just flopping everywhere. Now, when you got the windows up, this is a small little sports car. You do hear a lot of road noise. I mean, a lot. I'm not expecting 5 Series BMW quality in here, but it is very noticeable. So you may have to raise your voice just a little bit. But yet again, that's just from the tires itself. When you get on the highway, this car is bone stock, hopefully. Yeah, this thing loves to rev. I'll get to that in a second. But right now, at the entry ramp, I'm what? Let's say that's 75, 70 miles an hour right now. Okay, I'm cruising. My foot is on the gas pedal, but you do not hear the engine. You don't hear the droning of the engine. I'm not for sure how it was in the 350Z, but I remember watching like old Top Gear videos, stuff like that, talk about how the engine just drones. I believe Nissan has cleared that out in this one. Absolutely quiet. Now I'm going 80. My foot is on the accelerator. It did downshift, so you did hear the engine just a split second. But yeah, no droning. You want to hear droning, get in the Challenger, the 5.7 or Charger, and just cruise around the gas pedal on the highway. You do hear a lot of droning in the exhaust. I mean, visibility, it is kind of a small, tight car. There's no blind spot monitor and stuff like that, so you have to use cautions. You know, use your mirrors and probably turn your head a little bit. At nighttime, the gauge cluster, the whole cabin just looks pretty nice. Now, yes, I know the infotainment center down here that looks like was pulled from a Versa. That's pulled from like a 2008 Infiniti. Gauge cluster, spot on perfect. I mean, you're really in it for the driving experience, and I must say, I mean, this thing is pretty cool. So you do have the paddle shifters right here. You put it into the manual mode down here, flick it over, it automatically goes into 5th gear. Apologies, I said this is a 6-speed automatic. This is actually a 7-speed. So I'm gonna go ahead and just downshift real quick. Let's go ahead and downshift real quick. I love the way it blips. Absolutely love it. Looks like it's ref matching. There was no jerkiness whatsoever. It's an automatic, but it's an automatic, but did you see the red light just flashing? That was awesome. I needed to get off at that exit, but I just wanted to keep going. That was pretty awesome. I loved it. Performance is absolutely great, and it's just so easy to drive. I'm just amazed how easy this thing is. It's a small little nimble car. Oh man, I'm really digging this car. Handling wise is actually good as well. Got plenty of grip. I have a lot of confidence driving this thing. Man, that concludes my review of the 2020 370Z. I had an absolute blast driving this thing. It was fun in a straight line. It was fun in the handling. Yes, there was a slight restriction in height, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. You can't do that during the winter time. But man, I really did enjoy this car. I like these little sports cars. I really do. This or the Camaro RS, that's gonna be really tough to decide. But this is very retro. It reminds me of like the old Need for Speed days. I used to play Underground 2. It felt like I was like reliving my childhood driving this thing. I mean, honestly, it's a cool experience to drive this Z. So I anticipated the new Z. It was a 3-liter twin turbo V6, 400 brake horsepower. That's gonna be awesome. And yes, the new Z will still have a manual transmission. So unlike the Supra, who knows? I didn't have really time to actually go to a Toyota dealership to see if I could fit a Supra. But spoiler alert, I really can't. But we'll see. Hopefully I get the new Z in my hands one day and do a proper comparison. But this is Omar for Vehicle Height Restrictions. Thank you so much for watching this video.